Hi, welcome to our CE Project 1 video presentation by Aurora Fuchs, Kevin Zay, Zach Schonwetter, Kevin Zhao, and Margarito Sejudo Arita. Climate change over the years has led to rising sea levels and caused increased damage in the infrastructure, and so our team decided to find the most effective plan to build a brick seawall. Each of us played a role in this building and project presentation, and additionally, we all had alternatives that we considered, and we had group discussions about calculations. For this presentation, we will be discussing narratives, trade-offs, outcomes, cost differences, and lessons learned in this project.
Our group plan was to have 3 truckers and 2 masons. Our cycle time was a minute and 10 seconds for the trucker and 15 seconds for the mason. Our estimated total time was 5 minutes and 25 seconds with a 10% error time of 5 minutes and 58 seconds. And our estimated total cost was $589 with 88 cents. On the day of the construction, each trucker had a stopwatch as well as the masons, and our total time was below the time constraint. However, the masons took extra time to place and fix the bricks, and the truckers took extra time placing the bricks down in the laydown area, so our total time was slightly above the 10-second error time.
One of the main considerations that we kept in mind was convenience. While there were other potential bids that could have saved us either money or time, our main concern was the execution of our plan on the day of construction. The main goal was to look for a plan that wouldn't involve having to switch the roles for any worker, therefore minimizing any potential mix-ups or confusion. After careful consideration of all our options, we chose the most straightforward and easy-to-follow plan.
As for supplies, we took into account both the costs of transportation and supplies for both locations, as well as the time constraints for each. In the end, we chose Ronin Supplies over Fiona Incorporated because despite their higher prices per brick, it was less costly than it wouldn't take into account other factors such as the cost for carbon emission, diesel use per truck, and extra mileage because of that. And finally, our last main factor that we looked into was time. Most of our options fell into our time limit with only slight differences in seconds, so we were able to compromise our finish time for a plan that was both easier to execute and less costly.
On the day of the build, we completed our build with the same format as our original plan. For example, the same number of truckers, the same number of masons, and the same number of trips. The building process took about 5 seconds longer than we calculated our 10% airtime to be, and as you can see in the table, everything took slightly longer than we expected. For example, the masons placing the bricks and the truckers retrieving bricks. Our build time was 5 seconds longer than the time that we used to calculate our cost, so the mason and trucker salaries did increase by additional 5 seconds in our construction. This comes out to about $2.53 extra, or a 0.5% increase in cost. We expected our final time to be closer to the estimated time than our 10% airtime, but in fact it was closer to our 10% airtime. We learned that things just tend to take longer in the real world, and there were several things that we didn't account for in our timing study that showed up in our build, like dumping of bricks onto the laydown area and the masons adjusting the wall to make it more structurally sound. Thank you.